Hello and welcome to program 36 in this series of programs and tutorials that focus on TradeStation Easy Language. Program 36 is somewhat similar to program 29, and if you look at markplex.com, which is markplex.com, you'll see that program 29 used zigzags to try and determine or predict when a zigzag turning point would occur based on the number of bars between zigzags or within zigzags. Well, program 36 is similar, except this time we're measuring the price difference contained within a zigzag rather than the number of bars. So it's the vertical move rather than the horizontal move. And the way the program works is each time a new zigzag pivot is confirmed, so for example, when this high zigzag pivot is confirmed here, what we do is store the vertical up move into a vertical up move vector, and then what we do is take the vertical down move vector and we take the average of a certain number of down moves based on a user input, and then we subtract that value from this zigzag pivot value up here, and we draw a line on the chart. You can see this green line here, which attempts to predict the future price value of a zigzag turning point. And the program works similarly for low zigzag turning points. So for example, here we've just, or at this point here, a low zigzag turning point has been confirmed, and bear in mind that with zigzags this takes place, the confirmation takes place several bars after the zigzag. But when this lower zigzag is confirmed, we store this down move in the down move array, and then we take the up move array and we take an average of a certain number of up moves, and then we add that to this value here, and we start drawing a line. In fact, in this particular case, that line is above the screen that we can see there. Now, in terms of the functionality which carries over from program 29, I've still added the numerical values of the zigzag moves and drawn those at each zigzag turning point. I've also included this capability that if two down zigzags next to each other are the same or similar length within a user tolerance, then the second one is created in a thicker line than otherwise, and again that is a user input. We'll look at the user inputs in a moment. Similarly for up zigzags, if two up zigzags are within a user tolerance of each other, then the second one is drawn with a greater thickness. So let's go ahead and look at the inputs for this program. So first of all, retracement percentage. This is used in calculating the zigzags. So if we make that a smaller number, then you will find that you'll get more zigzags. A bigger number, you'll get fewer zigzags. The tolerance value, this is the number that determines how close those lines have to be before we draw a thicker line, like I just explained a moment ago. Zigzag color up and down determine the colors of the zigzags, and the color of text determines the color of those numerical values that are at each zigzag turning point. The top line and bottom line determine the colors of those projected price levels based on average of price moves. Line thickness, this determines the thickness of that second line if the previous zigzag move was within a user tolerance. At the moment I've got to set it at 3. If we would set it, say, to 5, just go back to the chart, you'll see now that those lines are substantially thicker. And then finally, the NumZigZagsInVector. This determines how many of the moves are averaged when we do the averaging of previous moves to try and predict the turning point, zigzag turning point price levels. Now this program uses vectors, which became available in TradeStation 9.0. So you may find this program useful if you're interested in the analysis of zigzags, or perhaps you want to learn a little more about the vectors and how they can help you. Anyway, I hope you might find this program useful.